Ethanol as a fuel source.
Environmental impact by Natalie and Ben.
What is ethanol and how is it made?
Ethanol is a form of renewable energy and a form of alcohol. Most ethanol is created through the fermentation of corn and sometimes sugars. This sugar comes from sugarcane as well as starch in corn, wheat, and barley that is easily converted to sugar.
There are two different processes in which ethanol is made, dry milling and wet milling. The basic difference between these two processes is how the grain is treated at the beginning and what each outcome is used for. While dry milling is the basic process for ethanol fuel, wet milling is the process in which corn is converted into various things, such as different starches, oils, and syrups, and meals. Dry milling.
The corn is turned into a meal and mixed with water to create a mash. Enzymes are added to create sugar, and then the mash is placed into a very hot cooker to reduce bacteria. The mash is put into fermentators, and the result is turned into ethanol and carbon dioxide. The ethanol is then separated from the remaining product.
The balanced chemical reaction for ethanol fermentation can be found at the bottom right of the page.
Ethanol producers.
The top 5 2009 world fuel ethanol production countries are the USA, Brazil, European Union, China, and Thailand. USA ethanol is produced mainly from corn. Brazil produces it mainly from sugarcane. Spain, France, and Sweden produce it mostly from wheat and sugar beet. China's is from corn. Thailand mainly produces it from molasses. Global climate change.
Ethanol is a non-toxic, water-soluble, and biodegradable. Ethanol is a renewable fuel produced from plants. Unlike other petroleum-based fossil fuels, this fossil fuel are limited and are major contributors of carbon dioxide emissions.
How different will the carbon footprint of a biofuel vehicle be compared current gasoline-based cars?
Using ethanol in place of gasoline helps reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 30 to 50%.
The main crops used for ethanol production are sugarcane, sugar beets, corn, molasses, and potatoes. These grain crops are usually harvested using a machine called a combine harvester.
The use of gasoline and diesel to transport people and goods accounts for about 31% of total U.S. CO2 emissions.
Land use.
The 3 states responsible for the most of the U.S.'s ethanol production are Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois.
Ethanol production will have an impact on soil quality. If we have an increase in corn acres, we have potential for more soil erosion, pesticide use, and nitrogen use. This means that soil will be less full of nutrients.
Ethanol production will also have an impact on our water depletion. 1 bushel of corn can produce 3 gallons of ethanol, but requires 4 to 8 gallons of water. This implies that 80 million gallons of ethanol may require approximately 40 million gallons of water.
Lastly, ethanol production will have an impact on human health. Burning ethanol emits low CO2 levels, and when ethanol-producing plants are grown, CO2 is taken in by the plants, which creates less CO2 emissions, a positive thing for our health.
The pros and cons of using ethanol.
The advantages of using ethanol are that it reduces use of imported petroleum, less air pollution, more resistant to engine knock, added vehicle cost is very small.
The disadvantages are only flex fuel vehicles can use it, you get less mileage, it's limited, and it's expensive to produce.
Thank you for watching our screencast.